Welcome back to Watches Tonight, guys. Thank you. I missed you last week.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Watch Insider. My name is Brian. This is Tim Masso.
Howdy, folks.
And thank you guys for logging on.
Hello and welcome. Hi, friends. It's good to see you again. Welcome to another episode of The Trading Desk.
Moving on to the greatest watch of 2011, and this was a tough one. A year that also included the Patek Philippe Aquanaut Travel Time and the De Bethune DB28, which won the GPHG Aguille d'Or. But the greatest watch of 2011, in terms of influence, was the Panerai Luminor Submersible 1950 3 days PAM 382 Bronzo. You know it was, I know it was. This is, without any qualifiers, the most influential watch design of these last 10 years. It's not even close. Rarely can an entire generation of design trends and vogues be retraced so discreetly and precisely to a single model. This is patient zero for the bronze watch craze. Because of this watch, launched in 1,000 pieces for 2011, the industry was overrun by bronze watches, from $100 Timex fashion options to $250,000 Fernand Berthoud tourbillon fusée chronometers. Everyone gave in to the temptation to copy Panerai's look. Yes, it's true. Connoisseurs and aficionados, Gerald Genta's Gefica beat Panerai to the punch by almost 2 decades, but it was a design dead end for Genta and the industry as a whole. In rock and roll terms, the Gefica was Jackie Brenston, and the PAM 382 was Chuck Berry. Big difference right there. Plus, remember this? Brands never talked about the calculated decay of their watches until Panerai started touting the patina potential of its Bronzo. For that matter, the Bronzo also launched an early volley in the green dial wars, which are just coming to a head today in 2019. Tudor, IWC, Oris, Mont Blanc, Ferdinand Berthoud, Zenith, Bell & Ross, and innumerable others were swept up in the whirlwind of the PAM 382, and even Panerai has iterated the watch with follow-up Bronzos, the 507 and the 671, which is to say we haven't seen the last of the 382, even in 2019, probably from Panerai and definitely from the industry as a whole. This watch is just aces every one of our selection criteria, all of the above and more. The PAM 382 for 2011, the greatest watch of 2012. Say it with me, guys, the Tudor Heritage Black Bay. Rolex's baby brand staggered through the 1990s and the 2000s searching for an identity. The 2007 international relaunch of the brand proved that the will and the budget was there, but the product, think the 2008 Iconaut. I like it, most don't. The product wasn't quite ready, and it wasn't quite resolved. All of that changed at Basel World 2012, and how it changed. With the launch of the first Heritage Black Bay, an unassuming, accessibly priced 41mm steel watch powered by an ETA movement, the watch was so successful and unexpectedly so that even Tudor must have been taken aback. Within 5 years, the Black Bay collection had so come to dominate Tudor's own catalog and single-handedly redefine the brand that it's almost impossible to think of Tudor in terms other than the Black Bay line. Tudor returned to U.S. shores in 2013 with the force of Operation Overlord powered by the Black Bay boom. And it's reached the point that Tudor itself is almost indistinguishable from its now defining model family. Truly, this is a blessing and a curse from a brand that would have sold its soul for this kind of design icon just 10 years ago. Speaking of which, not since the heyday of the Spawn comics have we seen such a conflicted relationship with one source of power. Tudor needs to find a way to grow without being overgrown by this single model family. But in collector terms, of relevance, endurance in the market, and influence certainly on Tudor's products, boom, this one fills all of the boxes. The watch defines, relentlessly, Rolex's only sub-brand.
Extraordinarily different, and actually more rare. So here we have a Patek Philippe chronograph. It's the 5975 Rose. And it is the limited edition chronograph that Patek Philippe did for their 175th anniversary. The watch itself does not have a sapphire display back, but it does have the anniversary there engraved on the solid case back. And Tim will explain to you, because he will do a far better job of exactly what you're looking at on this dial.
Okay, this is a triple scale dial. You've got it all. You've heard of telemeters that allow you to gauge distance, tachymeters that allow you to gauge speed, and pulsometers or pulsometers that allow you to gauge the pulse of a patient. Well, you've got all three right here. This is a watch that features a very simple chronograph. Note, this is based on the 5960 and the 5980 Nautilus chrono caliber CH28520, but it only features a second scale for use with those three calibrations. This watch can also be run full-time if you like to have center seconds, but the remarkable thing is not only is it a seconds-only triple scale chrono, it's a flyback seconds-only triple scale chrono. The strength of the lugs is extraordinary. You can almost see a little bit of first half 20th century Italian futurism in the thrusting, explosive machine ethic of this case. Patek went out of its way to make the case and the dial sensational. One of the reasons why it does not feature a display case back, because after this case and this dial, a mostly obscured automatic winding vertical clutch chrono caliber just wouldn't be that exciting. It would be almost an anticlimax. A rare piece. They made these in 4 series: white gold, rose gold, yellow gold, and platinum. This is easily the warmest of the 3, or the 4, pardon.
Yeah, and the I believe it was 300. Each of the yellow, the rose, and the white were an addition of 300 pieces, with the platinum being an addition of 100 that was only sold through the salons.
And you can see another advantage of not having a display case back. The watch is about 1.5 millimeters thinner. That's the thing. Sapphire displays add thickness. This is a watch that is all about its case and its dial, which is nice because this is a Patek that you can appreciate as intended and in full while it's on your wrist.
You know, and the reason I brought this watch on the show is because, to me, this watch is actually very undervalued in the market right now. I think that they're available at a discount to what the retail price was, or right around what the retail price was, for a watch that was a limited edition Patek. And it is not often that Patek Philippe does limited edition pieces. They do them for their big anniversaries, and they'll do them for something like the Grand Exhibition. So to have the ability to purchase what is a limited edition chronograph with a very unique dial, right at around or below the retail price, I think is pretty compelling now, and shows you just how strong the Nautilus and Aquanaut sports model is. And that when customers ask, you know, what are going to be the pieces that I can put my money into that's not a Nautilus, that's not an Aquanaut, that there is going to be maybe some future potential that's left, it's going to be watches like this.
Yeah, without a doubt. I would also say the interesting thing about that watch is everyone loves the 5070. I showed you both of them side by side so you could see scale just how big the 5070 is. But there are more 5070s in the world than 5975s, because this watch, again, La Manna caliber, rare, collector catnip, but here's the reality. They made 250 of these per year per medal from 1998 until production bowed out around 2009, late 2009. That's a lot more than if you consider a few hundred of these in 4 materials made in one special year. And
what's the case size of the, is it 40?
I believe it's like a 39.5.
39 and change,
It's
yeah.
weird when you measure it. It's not the same all the way around. But yeah, the 5070 though, for scale, when you saw them, that's a 42.
All right, what's the next one?
Here's something that doesn't surprise
There
me.
you go. Hot
I think,
independent.
yeah.
That's a tourbillon.
Yeah, actually, I have a customer that wants this watch.
Why don't you sell it?
So
$194,000, Jay.
Yeah, it's a big boy. RM002, tourbillon, rose gold, rubber. It's an RM, so it's all the hype right now, right? All the fire
So here's a
is
story.
on the brand.
Yesterday, I was in D.C., and I went to go meet with a client, a longtime client. He was from the Watch You Want day. He's been around for like 10 years with us. Really, really nice guy. So I visited him in D.C., actually got to see his collection in person, and he had an RM05 in white gold that like he bought from us probably like 7 years ago. I didn't even realize he had the watch.
Right.
And he asked me how much. He said he couldn't remember how much he paid for it, so I looked it up in our system. We had the watch listed in white gold, an RM05, which is actually like a pretty hot RM. We had it listed asking $25,000. That watch is worth more than $50,000 now. So needless to say,
clearly
he's
you
going to be
offered
trading.
to buy it, but yeah,
He's going to be trading it with me. But it shows you what's happening with RM. RM was looked at like an Hublot back 5-7 years ago.
Well, now 5 years from now, the magnifying watch is going to be, there's going to be somebody else sitting here talking about
You think so?
how we were dummies because that was
Is that right? Why are we going to fire
I
you?
don't-
Is that what someone else is going to sit there?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
So
What you trying to say?
Well, I mean, whatever, dude. Foreboding here. So, but it shows that now Richard Mille is hotter than Patek.
Right.
But back then you couldn't give them away. And this is a watch now that this is on the smaller side, the RMO2, which is much more wearable than a lot of the RM11, which is that's the number one Richard Mille. That's the flyback chrono. It's a huge piece, and now they have these huge notch cases, which still I can't believe they're still selling these watches.
Yeah.
When everyone else is scaling down, Richard Mille scaled up and still is going berserk.
It's on. I think it's definitely a bubble.
Yeah, we've been saying that for 5 years though.
But
Their
I know
production levels are so
guys.
small, though.
I know 2 or 3 guys that are like heavy in the RM game or were.
Yeah.
I'm talking
in
about
Brooklyn, right?
the guy. Yeah, so I'm talking about the guy that if anybody's selling an RM, he knows about it. He's getting the phone call, and he got out of RM.
Can he help you sell this? Though,
So he's like, he has one left, I think, and he's like, I'm not hedging on the bubble right now.
Okay.
So I don't know.
You're not making it easy for
We'll
us to
see.
sell this thing, though. By the way, whatever.
it is
There'll
what
be a
it is.
buyer for this
It's a
watch.
$195,000 watch. If somebody wants it, they're gonna buy it. If not,
That's
then,
true. So, all right. So RM is in the top 5. It's the first time.
First time top 5.
All right, cool. That's interesting. Maybe we're reaching a wealthier class of buyer if
See.
this watch is literally in our top 5 clicked, or people are just checking it. So, what's the number 1 watch? This is the last one, right?
Yeah, number 1.
Hey, look at that. So, Jason, what do you see when you look at your screen right
Yeah,
now?
that's a tough piece to buy and sell.
So, this is
in my
a
opinion.
26 millimeter ladies.
That's the watch. When
President.
someone texts me the picture of that because they want to sell it, we're gonna all right, we're gonna have a conversation.
Wow,
It's
it's a nice ladies watch.
it's all right. It's a tough piece to sell. Tiny.
So, factory diamond.
26?
It has the 26
26.
millimeter. So this is very traditional ladies president. We call it a Rolex Datejust, but it's on a president bracelet. So
Yeah.
ladies president is what they call this. So yellow gold dial. So this would be great as a matching piece with the 36 millimeter. Great, like if you want to buy like your grandparents matching anniversary gifts.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that the reason that's the number 1 clicked piece is it's an all gold Rolex under 10 grand, and most people clicking on that think it's a men's watch until they read the description.
Sure.
That would
Makes
be my opinion. And then diamonds on a men's watch is more accepted nowadays, and it's what people are looking. Some guys are looking for. So they probably see that and go, "Oh, it's a blinged out all gold president. It's less than 10 grand. I can get it." And then see it's 26 millimeters,
And then move on.
hopefully, and then go and click on the other piece.
Or is there any like holiday? No, I guess. Well, Valentine's Day just passed. What's the next? There's no really big holidays coming up,
Yeah,
right?
not
Because
really.
usually, like our ladies' watches become very popular around the holidays.